What is happening? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So what I'm going to do in this video is show my face. Obviously, I used to do it, but yeah. And what I thought I would do is make a video on 8 mistakes that you need to avoid when you're starting out in Blender for a beginner. And yeah, I made these mistakes, so I thought what I would do is just make a video and just talk a bit about them, and hopefully it helps you not make the same mistakes that I did. So mistake number 1, not everything needs to be done in Blender. So let me just explain what I mean by that. Is that when you render an image, let's say you render a nice image, colors look okay, you don't leave it there. What I normally do is, with pretty much all the renders that I do, I put it into Lightroom. So it's a photo editing program, and then I just tweak the colors, make things look a little bit better. Like I said, I come from a photography background, so I do know a little bit about how to edit, and yeah, I just make sure that it looks a little bit better and adjust the colors like that. When it comes to that, one key tip, just make sure that you render as high quality as possible, and that will allow you to edit it in the photo editing program much easier, and you'll get better results. So also a link in the description. I've got, if you use Lightroom, I've got a preset pack that I use for most of my cinematic renders and my normal renders as well, my surreal stuff. So check it out. Tip number 2, learn only what you need to know. So what I mean by that is, Blender is, you can do 2D stuff in Blender, you can do like photo editing, you can do almost like a video editing in Blender, you can do animations, you can do normal renders like photos. And the thing is, you don't need to learn all that stuff, because just learn what you need. If you're not going to do animations, you're not going to do long form, you're not going to make movies, you're not going to make huge long video animations. If you're not going to make animations, don't learn how to animate. You probably need to do it. You know, it's good to know, but don't get overwhelmed when you're a beginner and try and learn everything at once. Stick to, follow tutorials. If you want to learn to make cinematic scenes, renders, just learn how to do that. Learn how to master that, master lighting, master those things, and then if you get bored of that, learn something new in Blender. It's endless. You know, you can learn a lot, and you don't need to know everything. Like I said, I don't know everything in Blender. I just teach what I know. Number 3, understand lighting. So lighting is crucial in Blender, and yeah, you can see I've got a scene here. So look at this, it's lit. If I'm not lighting it properly, so if I don't light it properly like this, and I just do this, you know, you learn lighting, you think you know lighting, you can do that, you can bring the strength up, but you can see that looks okay. But if I bring this back down to 0.1, and I'll bring these lighting in, look how nice that looks. It's got the shadows, you know, it just looks a lot better than just blasting an HDRI. So just keep that in mind. Learn lighting. Same with cinematic kind of scenes. You know, you can, if you get the lighting right, then your cinematic scenes look a lot better. So using things like car lights, if you are doing that kind of stuff, use car lights to also light part of the scene. And yeah. Number 4, use add-ons. Okay, add-ons are time saver, money saver technically, and it just makes your life easier. You know, the easier you can make your life, the better. Like I said, I use a lot of add-ons. Let's go into Blender and I'll show you. So same thing here, I've got this scene, but I go here, add-ons are normally here. I've got these, you know, I've got so many. I've got Polygonic, paid one, but you know, you can get grass, you can spawn trees, you can put grass on planes. So click there, boom, grass, throw on grasses, and you know, stuff like real-time materials from Ducky, same thing. You get so many materials, and it's just there to make your life easier. You know, if you have to create this kind of material, it's going to take you a long time. So you can see it just makes your life easier. Add-ons, super helpful. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but if you're going to pay for something, make sure that you're going to use it and it's worth the money. Don't just buy something for the sake of buying it. Number 5, focus on your render settings. So what I mean by that is, let me show you. So yeah, when you go to render and you're going to render something, you can change these kind of things. So, you know, like this max samples, I usually do it at about 300, but sometimes if I want a high quality render, I'll bring this up. Same thing here, tiling, I'll change this to 256. It just makes it a little bit easier for your computer to render. Persistent data I check, and a few other things depending on, you know, light pass. If I'm doing certain things that are quite heavy intensive, I'll change this, but a lot of times I will, you know, just keep it pretty simple, not too hectic on the computer. And then this is usually high. So this is not a render thing. This is when your viewport. So you can, it's normally like 4000, but 32 is okay, because what happens is when you go here and you want to render, you can see there the samples. Now if I bring this to 4000, you'll see there now it wants to sample 4000. Obviously my computer is decently powerful, so it does it pretty quickly, but if you've got a thing like grass and that kind of stuff, it's going to take a lot longer to render like that. So keep it pretty low, because this is just when you're viewing things. This is when you are rendering. Okay, just remember that. Number 6, make use of the asset browser. Just going to save you a lot of time. You know, if you're using assets that you use frequently, use the asset browser, and I'll show you. Let's just jump into it. I'll show you where it is. So if you're not familiar with it, let's go. So here, boom, this is the asset browser, and you can see there. What I'll do is just go to File, New, General, and to bring it in, you just go here, click there, and then you look for asset browser. You can see I've got these here, all, and I've got these, my models. You can see, throw it in like that, boom, and it brings in a building. You know, you can just throw it in like that, boom, easy, boom, and it just saves you time, you know, without having to import. If you want to import a building, sometimes you got to go File, Import, boom, look for it, and this is just much quicker. Number 7, focus on getting scale and proportions right in Blender. And what I mean by that is, you know, you don't want if you've got like a car scene. So you've got let me show you quickly. Okay, I've got a scene here, and what I'm going to do is, you can see, yeah, let me just hide this cube. Now what I can actually do is just bring this point light. Let's bring this cube, and give me 1 second. What I'm going to do is just change this to 0.01. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just hide this. So let me show you. So if I bring in a model, so boom, import, and let's go GLTF, and let's bring in this guy. So boom, and you can see there's our model. Now obviously this is what I mean by scale. You can see he is way too big for the car. So this is what I mean by that kind of thing about scale. Just keep it simple. Make sure you get the scale right and proportions right. That's what I mean. You know, if you render something like this, you're going to see it's going to look weird. And yeah, it's pretty basic, but hopefully you do understand what I mean by this. And then number 8, last one, customizing your default startup screen. So you can see mine. If you've watched any of my other videos, I've got a different startup screen. Let's jump into Blender. I'll show you. So you can see here, this is my startup screen. You know, when you first get Blender, you got the default cube, you've got the sunlight, you've got the camera in different areas, and mine is set up like this. You can check out my Patreon for free. If you sign up, you can download my startup file for free. But you know, you can do this, you can move it around like that, and you can even set your render settings like that. So I've got it all set up. Just saves you time, saves you effort. And let's say you set up your screen. So let's say you want something like this, you've set it up like this. All you do is you just click File, Default, Start our file, save it, and next time you go into Blender, it will start Blender up with your startup file saved like this. So yeah, hopefully this helped you, and hopefully you're going to use it. This is one of the pretty basic tips, but it helps me a lot. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out Blender Kit, link in the description. Check out the Patreon. Check out, just subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, hopefully you learned something in this video. Hopefully it helped you. See you in the next video. Peace.